Hi folks, and welcome to this week's F4 track guide at Watkins Glen. We had Brands Hats last week, good circuit. Watkins Glen this week, another good circuit. At least we've done with all the Alton Park and Winton madness in weeks 1 and 2. This car definitely prefers the bigger tracks, let's be honest, the bigger sided tracks, a bit more runoff area. And like I say, yeah, Winton, let's not go back there for a very long time. Anywho, let's crack on with this. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo on the screens. Let's filter it down. Lap I'm going to show you is lap 15, which is a 1:45.412. Lap before that was 45.4, and the lap after that 45.5. So yeah, mid 45s I am. I do have a setup for this, and it is a little bit twitchy. I've sacrificed a bit of corner stability for a bit of straight line speed, so hopefully it'll be a bit easier to overtake. This back straight here, we're not doing the bus stop, so it is a long run down to this turn 5, so a little less wing on this one, and I think that'll make racing a little bit easier. We did do a quick test, and the slipstream is very powerful if you've got the right setup. And yeah, not so powerful if you've got high downforce setup, so bear that in mind. What else do I show you? Yes, the info tab, have a look here. Usage for the track is 44%. Higher usage, more grip. Lower usage, less grip. Track temp 94 Fahrenheit degrees above my HUD, above my head. Higher track temp, lower grip. Lower track temp, more grip usually. Time and date should be what we are doing this season, and you can see there the Watkins Glen setup will be on my Discord, and I'll flash it on screen right now. Otherwise, the other screens above my head should be my Discord, where the OLAP, BLAP telemetry replay file and the setup, if you didn't get it on the screen already. If you want the actual file, just copy and paste, it's in there for you. And also a little Google Docs of how what sessions I'm doing over the season, and what guides I've done in the past. So if you are looking for a guide, you can have a look on there, see if I've done one last season or a season before, to cover on a few different series I have done. And the other screen is how I get into these sessions. So these are pre-recorded to try and make them as accurate as I can. I use the iRacing UI, just go into schedule, and you can do any of the tracks and practice them at the right settings for what the race series should be following. Otherwise, enough of me waffling, let's crack on with the guide. Watkins Glen. We had a good circuit last week at Brands, and we got a good circuit again. Really looking forward to this one, and we are hunting down for turn 1. Good overtaking opportunity down here. 200-meter board, we are braking just slightly after it. Brake nice and heavy in straight line, start bleeding off, and you can nick a little bit of curb. I miss it completely there on Apex, but you can have the first part of that Apex curb. Don't run too far wide, make sure you keep a set of tyres on the curb there, otherwise it is an off track. Now, carnage will happen down here, unfortunately. Usually does through the S's. There's normally, particularly first few laps, that everyone's jostling for position, so just be mindful of that. Slipstream will be a thing down here. We are full throttle for a very, very long way, and we don't have to worry about doing the bus stop, so that is quite handy dandy. Otherwise, we are still going down this straight. That's how long this is, so yeah, but just be mindful of this going into turn 5. Just as we come over the crest and you start to see the corner, you want to turn in and then brake ever so gently. You don't want to lose too much speed through here. As you get to that little service road just down the right hand side, you want to start thinking about putting on the power. Get on full power as soon as you can, and you can run a little bit wide here. Just be careful, it is a little bumpy the more you take the curve, so it can bottom out. Just be mindful of that. The little concrete marker thing there on the right hand side, just as that appears, we want to brake. Trail brake ever so gently into the corner. Make sure you get on curb on this point about here, and then you can be on full throttle, because once you get hit that curb back there, you should be absolutely golden for a nice exit. Again, you can use all the curb, but it is a little bit bumpy, so be mindful. Very, very nice corner this. Be mindful of dive bombs on the inside, because it is a late leg apex. So just before the 100-meter board, nice wide entry, and then keep decreasing the speed, and then about now start building up the throttle just as you get to the apex. Now, if you apex too early, or you throttle too early, you will run wide onto this little bit of patch of grass there. Very, very awkward and very easy to get it wrong, so be mindful of people doing that and getting spinning into either side of the barriers, which is very, very awkward. Coming down now to the slowest corner on the circuit, we are braking at that board there, which I think is the 100-meter board, just before it. Nice and steady. It's quite a nice cambered corner, so you can take a bit more speed through it. Just be mindful of running too wide here. You can do it. There's no off track out there, but I just think you're elongating the track, so there's not much spending there. This is my braking zone for this one. Yeah, be awkward of coming over that crest. You see I correct the steering there? Just be mindful of that. If you're still braking through it, you will likely to be spinning out there. So try and be as straight as possible and off the brakes going over that crest. Otherwise, hold the throttle all the way around it and you'll be golden. This one is absolutely flat out. Cold tyres, you know, first few laps you might want a slight confidence lift. That's absolutely fine. Just be mindful of the exit curb. You do tend to bottom out the car there, which you will lose a bit of speed, and there is an off track out there as well, and a slowdown as well, I found out earlier. The barrier on the left hand side, you want a slight brake and a slight slight lift, and then once you get into the apex, again, it's quite cambered, so you can take a little bit more speed in there and use all of the exit curve there. But be mindful that wall and barrier does come up very, very quickly. This is a fantastic little circuit, this car, as was Brands Hatch. Really did enjoy going around here. But that is us across the line in a 1:45.412, which is, fingers crossed, pretty decent. I know I was maybe a couple of seconds off Brands Hatch, which could be down to my skill level, which is probably quite highly likely, to be honest. But yeah, absolutely enjoyed this track. Go have fun racing. Slipstream will be a thing. I think Brands Hatch was a little bit awkward to overtake at times, but obviously going down into turn 5 will be the main overtaking opportunity, and down into turn 1 as well. It's pretty decent straight. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Get subscribed, like the video if you did enjoy it, and yeah, catch you on the next one.